Hello everybody, this is Kian, the Smart Home, and my name is Ali Reza. You should have heard that Zigbee supports mesh network. In a mesh network, devices that are powered by main voltage or plugged into an outlet act as repeater, and they repeat Zigbee signals. In this network, nodes are interconnected with other nodes. Connections are dynamically updated and optimized. Zigbee devices build Zigbee mesh network automatically, but not simultaneously. You must give time to your mesh network to establish itself. It may take several days for your Zigbee mesh network to find optimal routing. Building a Zigbee network, it is recommended to pair devices in their final intended location. Start with repeating devices, beginning with the closest to the hub, one at a time. Then pair battery-operated devices in their final intended location. In this video, I want to run a simple test to check feature of mesh network. I have a sonoff Zigbee bridge, sonoff Zigbee switch, and a Zigbee motion sensor. All three of them are designed with Zigbee 3.0. I have already paired a Zigbee bridge with Evolink app and added Zigbee switch as a sub-device to the hub. Let's run the test. Before that, it must be mentioned that this is merely a test and there is no intention to prove or disprove anything. I thank Sepeh Monawar Group and Artman Company for supporting me to make this video. I have placed the Zigbee hub in one side of the home. It is connected to the power. The sonoff Zigbee hub actually. Here we have the wall switch. It is connected to a wall plug. By turning off the wall plug, the switch is disconnected from the main voltage, and by turning on the wall plug, the switch is connected to the main voltage. I do this because I want to pair the motion sensor, which its distance from the Zigbee hub is far, once while the Zigbee switch is disconnected from the main voltage, and the other time when it is connected to the main voltage. Easily by using Evolink app, we can turn on and off the wall switch and disconnect it from the main voltage and connect it to the main voltage. The distance between the wall switch and the hub is more than 10 meters. Let's go to pair the motion sensor. In order to pair the motion sensor, I go downstairs. Look, we have a Honda motorcycle. It's almost, or let's say more than 50 or 60 years old. Here we have a suite. Actually, it has become a warehouse. In this room, I want to pair the motion sensor, which in this location, the distance between the hub and motion sensor is far. Let's start pairing the motion sensor. Let's pair motion sensor, or let's say add motion sensor to Zigbee hub while its distance from Zigbee hub is more than they can connect directly to each other. First of all, I turn off wall plug in order to disconnect Zigbee wall switch from the main power. It must be mentioned that the wall plug in this video is Wi-Fi, not Zigbee. Okay. Then I tap on Zigbee bridge on Evolink app, tap on add. Zigbee bridge is in pairing mode and it's ready to pair Zigbee devices. I press and hold the button of motion sensor for 5 seconds to enter it into pairing mode. It's in pairing mode. Let's see whether the hub can detect it or not. Pairing is failed. Let's try pairing the motion sensor while the light switch is connected to the main voltage. I turn on wall plug in order to connect the main voltage of Zigbee wall switch. As you see, light, which is Zigbee wall switch, is offline. Wait a few moments till it become online. Now it's online and turn off. Using Evelink app, we can turn it on or off. Now let's pair the motion sensor, or let's say add the motion sensor to Zigbee bridge while we have the wall switch in the middle. I tap on Zigbee bridge, tap on add. Zigbee bridge is in pairing mode. By pressing and holding the button of motion sensor for 5 seconds, it enters to pairing mode. LED blinking 3 times means the motion sensor is in pairing mode. Let's see whether the pairing is done or not. Pairing was not successful while a Zigbee wall switch was in the middle of Zigbee motion sensor and Zigbee hub. Let's try adding the Zigbee motion sensor to the Zigbee hub while we are closer to the Zigbee switch. In this section of video, I have placed the Zigbee motion sensor 2 meters closer to the Zigbee wall switch. Wall plug is turned on, which means Zigbee wall switch, which its name is light, is connected to the main voltage. Let's start adding the Zigbee motion sensor to Zigbee bridge. Let's see adding will be successful or not. Pairing wasn't successful this time again. Let's do something else. We are in the warehouse. Once we tried pairing the Zigbee motion sensor near the window. The other time I tried to pairing it here. Now let's go upstairs to pair the Zigbee motion sensor while it can connect directly with the hub. We are again back to the wall switch. This time I will try adding the Zigbee motion sensor to Zigbee hub while we are closer to the Zigbee hub and they can communicate directly with each other. I turn off the wall plug in order to disconnect the Zigbee wall switch from the main voltage. Then try adding Zigbee motion sensor. One device is found. I tap on next. Motion sensor is paired while it is close to the Zigbee hub. So pairing the motion sensor in its final destination, which was in the warehouse, was failed while we had Zigbee wall switch in the middle. But let's try something else. Now we have motion sensor and Zigbee wall switch paired in the Zigbee hub. Now let's run another test. We have Zigbee motion sensor and Zigbee wall switch added to Zigbee hub. I will put the Zigbee motion sensor in warehouse and leave it for a few days to see whether the mesh network will be established or not. Let's take the motion sensor to the warehouse. Okay, I put the motion sensor here in the warehouse, and I will leave it here for a few days to see whether the mesh network will be established or not. I'll come back a few days later. Hello everybody again. The previous part of the video was shot on Saturday morning. Now is Monday evening. As we see on Evolink app, we have motion sensor online. To be honest, at noon the motion sensor was offline. I disconnected the power supply of Zigbee hub and waited for half an hour. Then connected the power supply to the Zigbee hub. After that, the Zigbee motion sensor became online. Okay, let's go and test the motion sensor. Before that, let's create a scene. I tap on scene, tap on add. In if section, I tap on add, select a smart device, choose motion sensor. Motion detected, save. In then section, I select a smart device, light switch, which is our Zigbee switch. I want to turn it on and tap on save. Again, save, set a name for it, test. As you see, by tapping on motion sensor, in its log we have the Saturday, which was 12th of March. Motion was detected. From that time till now, no motion was detected. Let's head to the motion sensor. Here we have the Zigbee switch, as Saturday, with no change. Let's go to motion sensor. Hey, look what we have here. Oops, sorry, it's dark here. As I said, it's evening. This is the motion sensor as I put it here on Saturday. It detected motion as it blinked. Let's see whether the light is turned on or off. It's still off, which means no motion is detected by the hub. Maybe the distance between motion sensor and Zigbee smart switch is far than it must be. Let's put the motion sensor closer. Okay, I pick up the motion sensor. By closer, I mean closer to the Zigbee switch. I put it here in the corridor. I leave it here. Let's see what happens after a few hours. Let's head to the home. The distance between the switch, the Zigbee switch, and the motion sensor. Let's see what happens after a few hours. Hello again, this is the third day of shooting this video, Tuesday. Okay, after putting the motion sensor, Zigbee motion sensor, closer to the Zigbee smart switch, we have motion sensor online in Evelink app. I tap on motion sensor. You see yesterday and today motions were detected. In order to see whether the Zigbee mesh network is working, I want to run another test. In this test, I will turn off, or let's say I will disconnect the power of Zigbee smart switch to see whether motion sensor sends notifications or not. Stay tuned. We have the Zigbee hub in that room. Here we still have Zigbee wall switch connected to a Wi-Fi wall plug. I used wall plug to connect and disconnect the main voltage of Zigbee smart switch. Let's head to the motion sensor. Motion sensor detected movement. Immediately its notification is sent. The light is turned on. Okay, I wait here in order to send not movement detection, then disconnect the power of light switch. Motion sensor stopped detecting movement, and after 1 minute test 2 was triggered and the light is set to off. Let's turn off the wall plug in order to disconnect the main voltage of Zigbee wall switch. Now wall switch is disconnected from main voltage. Okay. Movement is detected by the sensor. But it's not displayed on Evelink app and I didn't receive any notification. So the mesh network is working. Motion sensor does not detect movement for 1 minute after detecting the first movement. This was a simple test. I will run complicated videos related to Zigbee mesh network later. Building your Zigbee network, there are some items that must be carried. First, start pairing devices that are powered by main voltage or plugged into an outlet. Then, pair battery-operated devices in their final intended location. After that, disconnect Zigbee hub from the power supply. Wait for about half an hour, then connect it to power. Wait a few days till the Zigbee mesh network
finds the best routing. While pairing devices, pay attention to the distances between repeating devices and battery-operated devices. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe my channel if you haven't done already. You can support me by buying me a coffee. I'll see you in the next video.